Alright, y'all. I'm gonna see if this actually works or not, because I really want to do this live thing, and I really want to do it as I'm making this cuff that I'm making. I'm making this Jesus cuff for my boy. But, I really want to start, having like a, not necessarily doing like a Facebook Live where I'm making like candy, but like I want to have a channel on, like, well, I have a channel on Twitch, but I don't know, I deleted my Twitch, but I didn't delete my page, if that makes any sense. But I deleted Twitch off my phone, is what I'm saying. But technically, so I still have Twitch. You know, I'm still a member or whatever. But I want to turn my Twitch account into like a candy making account, where I'm making like candy cuffs and like bracelets, and I'm fixing together like pick me up boxes to like mail out to people. And I want to do like where, you know, it's like an arts and craft thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do. And occasionally, like, read the Bible, like what I do on here sometimes, you know, and like how I make my videos and put them on YouTube. That's what I want to do, you know, because it's fun. And like, why not? You know, maybe even put together like a puzzle one day or something. You know what I'm saying? So, but I got this pod. I bought this pod from Shein like months ago. I've only used it once because I don't have it on my bed. So I want to be able to like use this pod and like show you what I'm doing right now while I'm making, you know, this cuff. So let's see if I could get this son of a gun to like work. I probably should have done this before I turned the freaking camera on. But you know me, I don't really think all the time, okay? Hey, at least I admit that, you know what I'm saying? At least I admit that I don't use my brain like I'm supposed to. You know? It's like, it's like, oh, God gave us a brain? Oh, okay. And we're supposed to use it? Oh, okay. Like, you know, sometimes I just don't be using it. Oh yeah, it does that. Oh, ha ha ha. Okay, that's cool. Yay! Alright, so, but that's not cool. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to work these things. I don't. What? And it's like, oh, you can't rotate your thing while you're Facebook Live. But I don't know how it works. I don't know how these pod works. I don't. What the hell is this? See? That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to work these things, man. It's like, anybody can, like, tell me how this shit works. Excuse my language, could be really helpful. Oh yeah, so I went to this meeting last night. It's so funny. So I went to this meeting last night. Hey girl, hey Zena. So I went to this meeting last night in Rock Hill, and I was sitting outside the meeting, and this dude's like, I'm talking about something, and then I started cussing. You know, not too bad, but he was like, what? He was like, you got a potty mouth? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, I thought you were like this super like librarian, like good girl that didn't say any cuss words. And I was like, oh, my bad. I was like, well, you got me excited. So yeah, I got a potty mouth when I get excited. My bad. And he started laughing. He was like, girl, he's like, this whole time I thought you were like the saint. And I was like, now you're trolling me. He goes, no, I'm for real. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I'm sorry to burst your little bubble there. I was like, but yeah, I got a super bad potty mouth, man. I was like, I'm trying to get it under control. I was like, but you got me heated. Well, not heated in a bad way. I was like, but you got me excited talking about all this stuff. I was like, therefore, you know, therefore, I'm gonna cuss. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm trying to control my mouth, but it's not working too well. Alright, so what I'm trying to do... No, I want to continue. Shit. What I want to try to do... I don't know if this is gonna work. So, sorry my bed is dirty. Or not dirty, but sorry I got a bunch of stuff on it, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to do this. There's, like, I don't know if I can even do that at all. See? Okay, so that's my cuff. See, I don't think it's gonna work. I got the pod up. See, I don't know how to do it. See, the pod is messed up. It's not gonna just stand up by itself. Ugh. Yeah, see, I didn't think I could. See, if I get a table, or whenever I get a table in here, and like get it cleared off and stuff, I think that I would be able to do it a lot better. See, hang on. Oh, stay. Okay, are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay? Yeah. Oh, is it gonna work? Okay, I'm not gonna move. Shit, I shouldn't have moved it. Sorry, my bad. Okay, hang on. Okay, I needed to do that. Okay, so this, you can barely see it. You can't see it at all, can you? So I'm making this, where it says Jesus. So, alright, I'm be on number 6. So, and that's the thing. So I can't, it's messed up. So I got me some glasses coming. Alright, I got me some glasses coming. But, so the thing is with my glasses is currently I can't see far away. But up close, I can see, but I have to take my glasses off in order to read things that are like right in front of my face. Because when I have my glasses on, I can't see it to read it because everything's super blurry. But then if I take my glasses off, I can't see across the room. So the glasses that are coming now have bifocals in them. Like an old person, right? Yeah, I know. It's horrible. But I got the kind that didn't have the line in it, so nobody will be able to tell. But I just ratted myself out. Yeah, go figure. Alright, so do you see the piece of paper? So I'm going to be on number, can you see the number? Okay, so I'm going to be on number 6. Alright, so it's going to be red. So when you're doing the pattern, you see how it's got this one over here? That's where you start. So so how you start your Kandicuff is you make a line with all the ones and go all the way across the page, okay? So this, I wrote it down. So 32 by 9 is what this pattern's for, okay? But what I'm making it for is going to be somebody that has a 7.5 inch wrist. So I'm going to give them a 34, which means I add 2 beads to the end of this. Right. So to start the pattern, you got to come over here in the corner. You see where that 1 is? And you see where that 2 is? And then the 3, and it goes all the way up across the page until you get to number 17. That's how you read these patterns. It's super duper messed up. It's super duper messed up. Like, you would think that it would just go left to right, but it doesn't. It goes diagonal until you get to 17. So that's how you do that. But okay, so I'm on I just did number 5. So these are 5. So the next one I go to is number 6. So I'll be starting over here. Yeah, I think. Hang on. No, I'll be starting right there. So I'll be on the bottom part of the E. So yeah, I just wanted to test this out and see how this works. If it shows anything or whatever. But I'm gonna try to do it 6. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll do 8 red beads. Alright. 2, 4, 6, 8. And like I said, this is just a test run to see how well this works. To see if I can get to see if I can do my own little arts and crafts channel on Twitch or even on here. or something. Because, I don't know, arts and crafts is important, you know? It's good for, like, your mental state, you know? When you're having a bad day, you can just bust out with some beads, man. You don't have to be a candy kid like me to, like, make stuff. Like, you don't. You know? And plus, I think it's a positive thing to be able to do. You know? Alright, so then you do that, and then you just pull the string through. Just pull the string through. And you gotta use a bunch of string in order to make a cuff. Like, I like to start with, like, a bunch of string at first. And then if it's not enough string and I'm making something super big, then I can just hey Katie, hey girl, hey. So then I can just you know, if I need more string later on, you know, if I was making a super tall cuff or something, then I can just go and, like, add more string to it. But that's why I like to use, like, a bunch of string at first, so that hopefully I don't have to do all that crap. Okay, so I just finished. Let me pull it through. Pull it through. Okay, they're kind of tight. Not too tight, because I don't want this cuff to be, like, super tight. Because the string that I'm using right now is stretchy, but it's a number 8, okay? It's number 8 string. That's a 0.8. The ones that I usually use, I call it the floppy string is what I call it, because it's super thin and it's stretchy, but it's super thin stretchy. That is a 0.5, and that is, like, my favorite to use, but I don't have any right now. Okay, so I just did all of the number 6s, okay? So now I'm at the black. So I got to do 2 black 6s and then 2 red, 2 red for the heart. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 blacks and 2 reds. Alright. And I'm just going to do this for a little bit and see, you know, how good it works. I'm glad my pod is standing up. I have it on a book. And I'm trying not to move in my bed so that it doesn't fall over. But, yeah. So, yay. Alright. No, what happened? Oh. Okay, it fell off. It fell off. Those cicadas are getting on my last freaking nerve, man. I think that's why I keep getting a freaking headache. I think so. I think it's from those stupid bugs out there. And I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? Is that, like, their mating call or something? They need to just, like, drop off. You know? Like, go away. Go back in the ground or something. Okay, so we just got done doing the 2 6s on the bottom of the heart. So now we're going to do this 6 over here. But since this is a 34 wide instead of a 32 wide, you have to add 1 extra bead to it. Okay? So you're going to do 2 blacks. And then you come over here to the J and you do 2 reds. Okay? So 2 blacks and then 2 reds. Okay. Yes, this is Courtdogg's candy making. This is Courtdogg's candy making time. Yeah, baby. Right? Hey, it's my day off. I can act silly if I want to, you know? Like, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Alright, hang on. Let me make sure that's right. because I don't know. Okay, so that might not be right. Hang on. Let's go back to the pattern. And actually, okay, so if you see this down here, you see how that still has one? So if you count it, it would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Okay, so that means this right here is a line. So those are beads. So, and I didn't factor that in because I keep forgetting about that. And since I'm making a 34, I add an extra bead to the end of that. Okay, so, but really, in reality, you add extra 2 beads to that because it can never be an odd number when you're starting out. It has to only be even numbers to start your cuff. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other key. I'm trying to help y'all learn how to make these things. It took me forever to figure out how to make a daggum cuff because before, like I said in the beginning, I thought that it went left to right to read the pattern. So I was literally trying to, and I love doing puzzles, so I was literally trying to match the pieces to the pattern on here to the cuff, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, how the hell do you do this? And I watched tutorials after tutorials after tutorials after tutorials, and then I was constantly making them and just trying to do it on my own, and I finally figured it out. It took me months to figure out how to perfectly make these cuffs, but once I got it under control, and like, man, I was like spitting out cuffs like every single day, like 2 to 3 times a day I was making new ones. I can't even tell you how much money I've spent on beads in the last 8 years. I have no clue. Like, none. I don't know. I would say thousands of dollars probably. Seriously. Yeah. Like, I'm not even going to show you because there's so much stuff in front of it. But, like, there's so many beads over there on the floor, like, in front of stuff. My girl Jenny, she yells at me every time she comes in my room. She's like, oh my God. she's not happy. I'm sorry. Whatever. It's way worse than the other room. Like, hey, at least I admit it. But anyway, so going back. So I just finished the 2 reds. So I put on 1 black. Or no, I added 2 black. So I have to add another black because I forgot about it. So it needs 1 more black over here. And then I can do the 2 reds for the J. Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. I know. I have to keep telling myself that's what it is. There's a line over there. Which means, and whenever my printer printed this out, for whatever reason, it prints everything out to be super big. So, it's messed up all my patterns. Like, my patterns are, like, really big for me to, like, read. Okay. But I want to show you how to do this. So, can you even see that? Okay. So this last one is going to go through this black bead right here. Okay. So I'm going to do this. So you got to do it at an angle to get it to go in. So you're going to take it. Come on. Stop being difficult. Whoops. My bad. Okay. It's hard for me to do 2 things at once. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, it's really, really hard for me. Like, that's why I have a hard time having people in the car with me when I'm trying to drive. And they say, hey, look at this. Like, my hand goes wherever my face goes. I take after my grandpa all the way. Up. I told you it was going to fall over. Eventually. Crap. And it did. Kapooey. Okay. Hang on. Ugh. It did so well for so long. I gave myself good time. But then it fell again. Okay. Hang on. Alright. So, let me just pull this through before I add on the last bead. So that I can show you how to do it. And you have to make sure that the beads are okay, that they didn't like get messed up when you're pulling it. Because sometimes when you're pulling the string through, it will twist itself. And like you won't even notice it till later on. And that like one of the beads is like not right. It's supposed to all be like straight. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes if you're like pulling the beads, it could like twist it. Or you make like a space in it or something, you know, but you don't notice it until later on. Like I do it all the time, and I still do it. I mean, I've been making these cuffs for, like I said, like at least 8 years now, and I still don't have it all the way down pat sometimes, because this cuff right here is the first one I've made in months. Okay, but going back to the cuff, do you see it? Okay, so we're gonna put this last bead right here. Okay, we're gonna put that last bead right there. And then we're gonna put the string through that bead, and then we're gonna pull it through this red bead. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Alright. I know, like I said, if I had a table, I guarantee you I could get it perfect and that y'all could see what I was doing. And that's my whole goal, to, you know, have like a candy making channel so that you could see what I'm doing, and maybe have the camera like on me or something to where it's like pointed down at my hands, to where I could have everything like right here, you know what I'm saying? So where I could be making it and it would be like hands free, and then it would show exactly what I was doing so that you could know. And actually, you know what? It's so crazy that I'm talking about this, but so I actually had that ex's for my ex, for his son, because he's a gamer, and he films stuff. Like, he films himself playing his video games. Sometimes he does it live on YouTube or whatever. Like, he had his own channel where he was like playing video games and stuff. But he was also doing other things, which he had to be hands-free. And he was like, he had his camera rigged up, and I watched him struggle. So then I went to Five Below one day, and I found this thing where it was like a necklace, but you put your camera on it, so your camera's like pointed down, so you could be like hands free, and you could be doing whatever, and your camera's like recording you the whole time and like putting it wherever it's putting it, you know what I'm saying? So I need to go back and see if they have more of those, and if they do, like, get me one, because at first I thought it was hilarious, you know. I was like, oh, I would never use that, but I don't even think he ever used it, because every time I'd go in his room to like clean his room, it was still like on the shelf where, you know, he put it whenever I gave it to him. But anyway, enough about that. But let me know if, like, you think this would be a good idea or not. Because, and I don't really even know if because where I am in my house, like, the Wi-Fi keeps going in and out, you know? So I don't even know how much of this you could even hear or see. Like, I've been watching it the whole time, and it keeps, like, you know, doing its thing. But anyway, going back to where we're at. Like I said, we start in the corner where you see one, and then you follow it to where, gosh, dang it. Sorry. See, it won't stay. I told you. Dang it. I don't know how to use this stupid pod. I don't know how to use this pod, dude. It won't stay up. I don't know how to use it. But anyway, like I was saying, in order to read the pattern, you got to start in the corner where the one is, and you go all the way across. You go all the way across it. Okay, so we just did the 6s, so now we're beyond 7. So starting from here in the corner, we go, dang it, hang on. Sorry. Bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. Alright, so we started there. Now we're at there. So we're at 7. So we go all the way black. All the way till you get to the 7. So if you start there and you go over here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blacks. 9 blacks, and then a red, a yellow, and a red. Okay, so 9 blacks. So let's get 9 blacks. Come on, pod. Just work just for a daggum minute. Please, no. Why are you being difficult? See, that's what happens when you buy a pod off of Shein instead of just getting a good one at an actual store. I don't even know if it's gonna work now. It's being difficult. Sorry. And I don't want to show my super messy bed. I got stuff piled up on it. I know, it's been like this for months. Hey, at least I'm totally ratting myself out. I don't even care. I don't even care. I can't do it. It's not gonna let me. Dang it. Really? Just stay. Just stay. Are you gonna stay? No. I know, the more I fiddle with it, the more it doesn't want to stay at all. So I'm just gonna move this over here and just put that like that. But you see where we're gonna be? We're going to be in the cubby hole. So we're filling up these spaces with black. So we're doing 9 blacks. Alright, let me put it right there. I already got my black in my lap. So, alright, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. If it falls one more time, I'm totally getting off here. Just FYI. Because, like I said, I'm just testing the waters to see how well this works. And so far, it's really not working that well. And so far, the pod keeps messing up. And, I don't know. Like, I know the lighting's bad because I only have one lamp turned on in here. So it's like not as bright as it should be. Yeah. But I wanted to test the waters and see. Because like I said, I really want to do like a arts and crafts, like candy making channel or whatever. Start doing like videos where I'm making like candy and maybe doing like puzzles, or something. Besides just reading my Bible and doing my Bible videos. Like, I want to branch out and do other things too. You know what I'm saying? Well, mainly because I was on Twitch there for a hot minute, and so, on Twitch you can have like, dude, there's like ridiculous crap on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, super ridiculous crap. Like, half-naked chicks, like, in swimming pools, doing all kind of stupid crap for, like, views and money. I don't care about none of that crap. But, I wanted to, like, I saw this lady, like, this older black lady, and she was, like, just literally putting together different puzzles. And then she was just having conversation as she's, like, putting together puzzles. And then, she was playing music as she was, like, putting together puzzles and, like, basically taking requests on what she should be listening to. It was hilarious. And I was like, dude, if she could do that, why can't I do that, you know? Like, why can't I, like, you know? Alright, so right now, so you see this space right here? Kinda. Alright, so there's a space right here. So now we're going to take a red, we're going to put it there, and we're going to put a yellow there, and we're going to put a red there. Alright? Because like I said, we're making this heart with the cross in the middle. But anyway, so yeah, she was putting together puzzles, and she was like talking about Jesus the whole time, and she was like, you know, taking requests on what music she should play next. It was crazy. I enjoyed her talking about Jesus. I didn't really care about but she wasn't playing crap music. She was playing like oldie music, like classic, like the Platters, and like, you know, she's playing, I think she played some Aretha Franklin. And she's playing some like Stevie Wonder. I even heard some Lionel Richie up in there. I was like, okay. But yeah. It just, you know, made me think about, oh, well, if she could do that, then why can't I, you know, have like a candy making thing? And then they did have some channels where people were like making candy, but it was like stupid. Like, they didn't even know what they were doing. Like, and, you know, and then they were just like playing video games. Like, they were playing there was a lot of channels where they were playing video games, and they were just like, I don't know, dude. I'm not knocking the gamers by any means, and I know I have a lot of gamer friends. I'm not knocking what y'all do, whatever floats your boat, man. But, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, I think that I could help people make candy way better than those, like, teeny boppers, because, like, the stuff they were making was crap, and, like, I don't know, like, it didn't even look right, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I mean, I wish I knew how to make masks. Oh man, if I knew how to make candy mask, it would be on, dude. What? But yeah, it's not to, like, make money. Like, I don't even care about any of that crap. Like, you know? And if anybody tried to send me any money ever, I wouldn't accept it. I would just tell them to go pay it forward. Because I don't care about that stuff, you know? Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing it for, like, pure fun, you know? Entertainment. Alright, so, like I said, we're on 7. So, going back to here, so we have 1 bead there. We have to add a bead, and then we go back over to here, where there's a black 7. Okay, so we started over here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 5 black beads. And then we could start number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And then we'll be on number 8. And like I said before, this goes up to number 17. But it's only 9 rows high. So it won't, I think it'll probably be like, I don't know. I don't think it will be that big of a cuff. Maybe half a sleeve, maybe. Lift that. Where did that bead go? Wow. But yeah, when you do the end beads, you got to remember that you got to put it in the bottom, then you got to take it, and then you got to loop it through the top bead. And then you got to pull it through. Okay? And like I said before, it'd be so much easier if I had a table and I was doing this at a daggum table, so that, and if I had a contraption that was on me so that you'd be able to see what I was doing completely. But I'm just going to show it to you real fast. But you can barely even tell what it is. But you could barely tell right now. But that's just the start of it. Okay? But this is what it's going to say. It's going to say Jesus with a heart and the cross in the middle. Yep. And so the black, of course, is for death. The red is for his blood, and the gold is for his salvation. Aw, yeah. Alright, so we're on number 8. But I'm not going to sit here and make the whole thing. I mean, I totally could, but I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Maybe I'll just do it until it falls again. And then if it falls again, then I'll end the video. How about that? Alright, so we're going back over here to the 1, and we're going to read up. So, we go right there. So, 1, 2 blocks, and how many? Alright, so 1, 2 blocks, 1, 2, 3 reds. Alright, so 2 blocks and 3 red is what we need. Okay, and you really got to pay attention when you're making this cuff. You really have to pay attention. You have to be watching yourself as you're making the cuff and keep looking at your pattern, because if I'm telling you right now, if you don't, you will so mess up and you'll do the wrong thing, because I did that constantly, and there was like I didn't realize that I had messed up until like way later, and it was like very apparent, and I had to go back like 5 or 6 rows and undo like 5 or 6 rows to fix where I messed up at. And that's happened to me several times. And it's all because I would be too busy like chit-chatting with people on the phone while I was like making my cuff, and I wasn't really paying attention. Or I'd be watching a movie while I was making my cuff, and I wasn't like paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day when I was making my cuffs, I had my tablet. And so I would have my pattern on my tablet, so which meant I could be like doing whatever I wanted to do on, you know, using my phone. And yeah, I messed myself up doing that. Okay, so we just did 3 reds. Okay, we're on number 8. So 1, 2, and then we did those 3 reds, and now we're doing a black and a red. Okay. But yeah, you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because you will mess it up. You will so mess it up. Like, it doesn't matter how professional you think you are. Like, Okay. So we're doing the S of Jesus. Jesus. Oh man, so yesterday, I just wanted to... So yesterday, if you were driving around Pineville, Indialand, Rock Hill yesterday, you may or may not have seen me with my microphone in my hand. And you, yes, girl, yes, you best believe I had my microphone on and I was singing in the car. Oh, it was drive-by karaoke, and I was doing stoplight serenade. Yes, girl, yes, I was. I wish my daggone window rolled down, but that will be another time. I'll be able to get that fixed. You know, one thing at a time, But I have been, yes, and I know, dude, I had somebody follow me yesterday when I was in Indialand. She followed me. She turned down the same road I turned down, followed me when I went to go loop-de-loop because I went down the wrong way. And so I had to turn around. She followed me to turn around. And then when I realized, I was like, are you following me? She was cracking up, dude. She was laughing her ass off. I was like, oh, you like me on my microphone? She was like, yes, girl, that is hilarious. And I was like, yes, you know. I was like, thank you. It was great. But I was smiling and laughing, and I know the people behind me were like, what is happening right now? Even the people in front of me, like, I was watching them as they were watching me, and I was cracking up, and they were cracking up. It was great. It was freaking great. But yes, so I'm going to be doing that constantly. I don't even care. I don't even care, man. Like, whatever. You know, people just need to... I mean, it's not like I was, like, driving crazy, because I wasn't. I was paying attention to what I was doing. I had my seatbelt on. I was still using my blinkers. I wasn't driving too fast. I had one hand on the mic, and I had one hand on the daggum steering wheel. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing my thing, and everything was fine, and it was good. And then when I got to... when I got to, like, the daggum, like, stoplight, I'd be like, oh snap, it's stoplight serenade time, and, like, it was great. And then, like, there would be people on the motorcycle, and then I'd roll down the window even more. I'd be like, if you don't know Jesus, it's time for you to get to know Jesus, because he's coming back soon. And then I'd butt out some, like, scripture or whatever, and talk about Jesus for a hot minute. They look at me like I was crazy. I was like, maybe I am crazy. I don't care, you know, like, whatever. I was like, man, I'm fired up for Jesus. I was like, I love me some Jesus. Like, yeah. And then I was sitting there reminding myself, it's all about the little things, you know? It really is. Like, people can hate all they want. I don't care. Alright, so going back. 8. So you do 1 black, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4 reds. So. But yeah, I had a smile on my face the whole daggum time I was in the freaking car. It was great, dude. Like, what? I don't even care, man. I passed by some cops too, and they were cracking up. They were like, but I mean, safety first, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't, like, you know, I wouldn't do anything illegal. Man, the cicadas are getting on my last daggum nerve. Like I said a second ago, I really do believe that's why I keep getting headaches. From that freaking noise. It's so daggum loud. And this is only the start of it. It's supposed to be way worse than this in like a month or 2. Yeah, so I ain't happy about that. Because anybody that knows me knows how much I hate bugs. Like, ew. Yeah. Alright, so I just did that. Right, so don't forget, this one over here is a bead, okay? So there's a black bead, you got to add 1 bead to it, okay? So 2, go back over here, 3, 3 blacks. Alright. Alright. 3 blacks, and then you're gonna do 2 reds, because, all right, you got, see this part right here, so that's a red right there. We gotta put a black on top of that, because that's the end of the J. All right, so crap, go in there. All right. So, and then whenever you're like stringing it through and you pull it, you want to pull it tight, but you don't want to pull it too tight to where it's too tight. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want it too loose either. And I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, so we just did that. Now, we're about to put that bead right there to complete the J part, okay? So then we're gonna add this bead right here to the E, okay? Yeah. So it's gonna be 2 reds, and then that's it. And then we'll be starting number 9 in a minute. Alright? I know, you can't really see it. Like I said, the angle's wrong, and I only got 1 light in the room. If I turned on the other light, it would be like super bright in here. But both my lights are on that side of the room, so it's like, I know. Next time, I'll make sure, like I said, this is just a test run. So next time, I'm going to make sure that I got a table and like that freaking contraption to do it. Alright, so like I said, so see where it's at? So right here. Yeah, right here. So we're going to take this. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we're going to take this one and we're going to put it through this bead right here. And then we got to pull the string up through that bead so that we can start number 9, which will be right there. Okay, so we're going to do, man, see, let's see the other problem. You can't see because, where's it at? There it is. So, pull it through, and then take the string, and then push it through this one. And then pull it through. But like I said, when you're pulling it through, you want to make sure it's straight. Yeah, that's it. You want to make sure it's straight, and you want to make sure that you don't mess up and it doesn't twist. If the string gets twisted up, you got to untwist it. So it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you'll get a nick in it, and you won't notice it until later on. And then you'll be like, hey, wait a minute. How come there's a gigantic space there? Yeah, I've done that to so many of my things. But now look at it. You can kind of start to see that it's starting to form. See what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Woo. Alright. Get your craft corner on with Courtdogg. Yeah. That's it. That's what I wanted to name my channel on Twitch. Courtdogg's Craft Corner. Yeah. Just like that. Just like that. Courtdogg's Craft Corner. Or what was the other one I said? There was another one that I had. What was it? Courtdogg's Candy Corner or something like that. But yeah, I say craft because if I did do hey, what's up, Mark? If I did do the Twitch channel, I want to do more than just candy. I want to do like other things too, make other kinds of art, because you know I make all different kinds of stuff, man. I mean, I put together my pick-me-up boxes, and you know, sometimes I'll be making like actual art, you know, with my hot glue gun and stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff to do that with, you know, but you know, I don't sell none of my stuff, which everybody yells at me and tells me that I should be selling my stuff, but I don't. I just give it away because I mean, that's just, I've always been that way. And like these candy box, these pick-me-up boxes that I do, I ship them all over the United States. I don't ever ask for anybody's money or nothing. You know, I ship them for free. And now if I had to ship them to, you know, the UK, I might ask for money then, but I don't know. It just depends on how much it would cost to do it. Cause I mean, I've shipped some stuff over to the UK before, like when COVID was happening, and I had bought all those masks from Ashley Collins, from Ashley Sullivan. I shipped like 2 of those masks over to some girl that I met on one of my UK German-based groups on Facebook. Like, I didn't even know her. I still don't even know her. I've never met her before in real life or anything in person. And so she said that she didn't have a mask, and she said that she really needed a mask. And I was like, well, okay, I'm willing to send you a mask. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm dead serious. And she goes, you would do that from the United States? And I said, yeah. And she goes, really? And I said, yes. I said, I want everybody to be protected, And this was right when COVID had just hit, and we really thought that these masks were like protecting us. That there's just fabric, but we didn't know whatever, And I don't put my faith in material things anyway. All of my faith always comes from Jesus, from Yahweh, from Father God. But, and then I included other things in that box, because basically that's what I was doing. I was sending her a pick-me-up box, and I shipped it. She was outside of London, in some super tiny town outside of London. She sent me her address, and I shipped it straight to her. It took like over a month to get to her, but she finally got it, and she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, this box is amazing. I was like, you're so welcome, and she was like, wow, I can't believe you did this for me. And I was like, you're so welcome, I was like, just pay it forward. She was like, but I need to send you something. And I said, no, you don't. She goes, yeah, I do. I need to send you some money, so tell me your PayPal. I said, nope, I'm not taking your money. She was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't care about your money. I was like, I understand. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I was like, I want you to keep your money. Just pay it forward. This is all I asked. Just pay it forward. I said, go do something nice for somebody else. Go buy somebody a coffee, or sit and chat with them, or give them a hug, or open the door, or tell them, please, thank you. Tell them about Jesus. I was like, I don't care. Do something nice for somebody else. And that's all I want. I was like, that's it. It's like, I don't care about all that extra stuff. It's just a distraction, And she was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, you're welcome. I was like, that's just who I am, I don't care. It's like back in the day when I first started making these cuffs, I wasn't going out, I had stopped going out to the clubs and all that. I really had stopped hanging out with people, and I was just making candy all the time because I I'd stopped smoking cigarettes, and I needed something to do with my hands, so I started making the cuffs. And I was on different groups on Facebook, and there was that Grace girl, Anna Grace, that sings and stuff. She was like obsessed with Taylor, or no, the other girl was Aubrey. Aubrey was, or Audrey, she was obsessed with Taylor Swift, and she has, I can't remember what that daggum disease is, but it's like some kind of disease that affects your heart and something else. And so, she was really sick, and she had been on different various talk shows, and she was obsessed with Taylor Swift, and she would do all the little dances that Taylor Swift would do, and she would sing and all this, and she was like just the cutest little girl in the world. But anyway, her dad had put her address on Facebook, a P.O. box, and so I had sent him a message, and I said, hey, well, what is she like? I was like, I want to make her something super special, and something that she can keep for forever, and just to show her some love. I was like, she probably can't wear it right now because it's going to be super big. I was like, and I don't, I was like, I don't know if I can make that to be really small, you know what I'm saying? Like, the cuff itself is big. I think that the smallest it went down was to a 30, which would be probably I don't know, probably that big, you know what I'm saying? That wide, so tiny. A 30 is, this is a 34, so a 30 is 4 beads less than this, you know what I'm saying? I can wear a 30. I can even wear a 28 in some of the cuffs, depending on the kind of string I use. Like I said, this string right here is a 0.8. if I use the 0.5 string, I can wear the 28 wide cuffs because I can squeeze my wrist in there. My wrist is small. Like, it is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm doing? That's tiny. But, you know, so it just depends on the kind of string you use and how tight you pull these. Like, I'm trying not to pull it too tight right now because, like I said, it's not the floppy string. But if I use the floppy string, then, you know, not only can you still do it, depending on how big your wrist is. I mean, you know, I've made several cuffs for other people, and some of them have been way too big, you know, and then some of them haven't been big enough, you know. But it all depends on the string you use, and all depends on how tight you pull it. But anyway, let me get back to this. So, because you know me, I'm a talker, and I'll keep on rattling off for forever. Like, okay, yeah. So that's the E. And like I said, you got to constantly be paying attention to the pattern to make sure you're not messing up. You got to constantly keep checking your cuff and checking the pattern at the same time to make sure that you haven't messed up anywhere. Because it's so easy to mess up on these things. Like, I'm going to tell you, it is. Alright, so we're going to number 9. So you start back here in the corner. You go up and across. So we're right here. So it's black. And then we're going to go to red. Alright, so black and red is what we need. Oh, my foot's asleep. Oh, it hurts. Alright, black and red. Alright, and then you go right there. And you go right there. Alright, you see, now you're at the top of the S. Yeah. So now you go over here to the U. Or right before the U. Alright. Now, we just did that S. So now we're going to do that. So we'll go, alright, let's struck the black. And so I say we're on 9. Okay. So we got black, red. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 blacks, and a red. Okay. Three blacks and a red. And like I said, it took me forever to figure out how to make these daggone things. Because all the tutorials I was watching on YouTube, they were all different. And it was so hard for me to see how they were doing it. Because, like, a lot of them, they didn't have their camera turned around right. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I couldn't figure it out. Like, the pattern was, like, backwards. You know? The pattern wasn't showing the right way. Like, they didn't have, I don't know how they were recording it. Or live or whatever. They had it like, I don't know, the screen was messed up or something, but it was showing the pattern to be, backwards, you know what I'm saying? So, instead of it being like front ways, it was flipped. So, this was like over here, and it was like, I couldn't read it. So, it was so difficult, because I was trying to like, make a cuff as she was making a cuff. Because she, like, showed me the pattern. So I get all my patterns from KandiPatterns.com. So it's KandiPatterns.com. That's where I get all my patterns from. Like I said, depending on how big your wrist is or how small it is, you'll either have to add beads to it or you'll have to take away beads from it. You know? But it shows you on there how many beads you will need per pattern. And you can always change the colors around. I mean, there's so many of these that I don't like the colors that they're showing, so I switch them up. But and everybody that knows me and that's ever gotten a cuff from me knows that I don't repeat that pattern. The only time I will personally remake that cuff is if you tell me it's broken, and I'll remake it for you. But I like everybody having their own thing for me. Except for the Jesus cuffs. Those are the only ones that I would make multiple of the same pattern for, because it's Jesus. And Jesus is supposed to be shared with everybody. So, okay. So we just did the S. So we just did the 9 on the S right there. So now we're going to go over here. And, sorry, I bent this yesterday by accident when I was in the car. So it messed it up. Alright, so we're going to do 2 blacks. And then a red, a yellow, and a red. So, 2 reds, 1 yellow, and 2 blacks. Okay. I know, I told you, I'm not really good at the angle of this because I'm on my bed. So, but God bless y'all who are like watching me and who has been super patient and like, you know, I thank y'all for the views and for being patient with me, because I'm kind of struggling over here. I'm kind of struggling over here because like I said, I got this pod standing up on a book. I got this cuff on my knee, and I'm trying to do it and show the camera how I'm doing it. And, you know, it's making me move around, and I'm trying not to, like, make the camera fall again. But, yeah. So, I thank you. I thank you for taking the time and, giving me the views and everything. And I hope I'm teaching y'all how to do this. I hope that's working, you know. Alright, so going back to the pattern. Okay, so we just finished that one right there. So we got this one. We got to add 1 because we added 2 down here to make 34 instead of 32. So we got 1 right there. There's a 9. We add a bead, so 2 blocks. And go over here. And there is a block. So 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks plus 2, so 5 blocks. And I think that's a red. Yeah. And then that's a red. Alright, so 1 red, 5 blacks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Yay! Alright. Oh, goodness gracious. My foot is so asleep, both of my feet, and they kind of hurt because I got them at an angle. So, probably going to get off here in a minute. Just because I need to be able to move. Okay. Okay. Alright, and then put the E, put the little piece for the E. There it is. Alright, and then like I said. Gotta put it to, you got, at the very end, you gotta put it through that bottom bead right there, and then that top bead, and pull it through. Okay? That's how you put the very, very last one on. And sometimes it doesn't go right like it should, so you gotta manually make it go. But then, you gotta make sure the string doesn't get twisted. Okay? Make sure the string don't get twisted. I always put my hand down here at the bottom so that I can kind of course it through and then pull it. Alright, yay! And that's how you make a Kandicuff. So, it's starting to come along. It's starting to come along. You can read, you start to read this, it says Jesus. You can see the heart and the cross, the bottom of the cross, and all that. Yeah. Woohoo! Yay! So, alright. Ow, man. Oh, my knees. I shouldn't have sat like this. I shouldn't have. Like I said, if I had a table, it would be all good. But man, I don't. And my room is atrocious. I actually went to go find some pajama bottoms, and I found these. And as I was pulling out these, I found a pair of skull and crossbone pajama bottoms. And I was like, well, I gotta throw those in my burn bag. So I threw them in my burn bag to set on fire. Because I've already burnt, like, all of my other skull and crossbone things that I had in my room. Yeah, and I'm still finding stuff. I found a shirt that actually was my brother's that I stole, after he left here. After he moved out, then I raided his closet and took all of his clothes that he left. And, I mean, some of them I was actually just wearing. And then some of them I turned into, like, my work clothes. But I've been going through that, and I've been giving back him his clothes because now his kids are wearing his old clothes. And, also his wife wears some of his old stuff. And, like, I gave him, a less than Jake shirt he used to wear when he was in high school. He was like, holy crap. I can't believe you still had this. Like, and I was like, dude, I wear it. I've been wearing it for like the last like 5 years, maybe 6 years. He said, really? And I said, yeah, I wear it to work. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, man. And he was like, well, that's cool. I'll pass it on to one of the kids. And I was like, okay. So that's what he did. And he was like, well, it looks brand new. I was like, that's because I take care of my stuff. I was like, you should know this about me. I've always taken care of my clothes. I've always taken care of my books, my movies, my CDs, everything. Everything has a place. Like, I don't leave nothing out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything has a place. I mean, if you look around my room, I'm not going to show you right now, but everybody that's ever been in my room knows that I got piles everywhere of stuff. And I don't like it when people touch my shit. Like, excuse my language. I get really ticked off. I've had several people ask me if they can come in here and help me, like, arrange things. And I'm like, no, definitely not. Like, I do not want you to touch my stuff. But, hey, what's up, Dustin? Yeah, so I'm making a Kandicuff. So, this is what I'm making. It says Jesus. And this is what I'm doing. So it says Jesus on it. Alright, so right now I'm about to do number 10. So, like I said before, when you start it, you start right there and you go all the way across diagonally until you get to the last number, which is 17. So now I'm going to be going to 10. So you go, so it should be red. So you go red, black, red, red, red. Okay, so it's going to be, oh wait, hang on, I might have done that wrong. Go red, so 1 red, a black, and 3 reds. So you need 4 reds and a black. But yeah, So my brother would be happy whenever I give him back his other shirts. Because I know I have plenty of his other clothes too. I gave him like, I gave him that Listen Jake shirt, and I gave him like maybe like 5 other shirts that were his. But I know I have way more, and I've actually been giving him the shirts that I just bought from concerts that I went to last year. I actually took him to go see the band was called Calavera, and it was the 2 brothers, Max and Igor from Sepultura. They started their own band called Calavera, and I took my brother last year, and I knew that I shouldn't have gone to see them myself because, you know, I don't listen to that kind of music and stuff, but, you know, I knew that my brother loves that kind of metal music, so I took him, and, he, you know, I knew that he didn't have the money for anything, you know, for the souvenirs, and he got, like, I don't know, I think a patch or 2 and some stickers, but, he was looking at one of the shirts. I offered to buy him a shirt, and he wouldn't take it then, but, so I bought myself a shirt, and then I ended up, when I started doing these burn bags, and got rid of so much stuff, then I gathered up all my stuff that I had bought at the show that night, and gave it to him. So, yeah. So, alright, you can see that it's starting to say Jesus. Alright. Okay. So, if you look, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You have to pay attention to what you're doing, because if you don't, you'll mess up. Alright, so if you look, those are 2 reds. So 1, 2 red. So you're put a black bead there. Okay. And if you go back to the pattern, you'll see 2 reds, and then number 10 is a black bead. So you go 1, 2 blacks, and then a red, 2 yellows, and another red. Okay. So 2 blacks, 2 reds. Oh wait, no. Yeah, so altogether you need 2 reds, 2 blacks, and 2 yellows. So I go ahead and put them in my hand. But that's why you gotta be paying attention to what you're doing. Alright. So 2 blacks to start out. Yeah, man. It's Courtdogg's Craft Corner. And I would not be surprised if I ended up on YouTube by me singing yesterday going down the street. Oh, man. I mean, I was cracking myself up. And I was watching the people watch me, like, that I was behind and then I was in front of. And they were cracking up. And I was just like, like I said, I had one lady, she followed me for a hot minute. And she was laughing her ass off. And then, yeah, it was funny. But, you know, when, you know, I didn't constantly be, like, singing at the stoplight. I did a couple times, but a lot of the time when my windows were rolled down the whole time. But, you know, when I would get to the stoplight and, like, people would have their windows rolled down, sometimes I was singing, but a lot of the time I was talking about Jesus and being, like, real loud about it and, like, leaning, like, leaning towards the left window because my right window doesn't roll down right now. It does not work. So I was leaning towards the left window and, like, would roll down the window a little bit more and be like, do you know Jesus? Like, if you don't know Jesus, I suggest you get right with him now because he's coming back, you know? And so I was just like that, but... You know, some people will look at me like, huh? And then other people were like, you know, thumbs up. Alright, so going back to here, you see you got that right there? That is a black number 10. Like I said, you've added a bead. So you go 1, 2, go back to over here. There's a black. 3 blacks. Alright? You need 3 black beads. Okay. Because you have to remember, that's what I'm saying. It takes a while for it to catch on and for you to remember, but you have to make sure you constantly looking at your pattern. Because when I first started this, I had forgotten that there was a line here because it's cut off. So I had totally forgotten about that line. And I was like, I had counted out 16 beads, but I was like, but I had another space and I was like, crap, I gotta add another one. And then I remembered, okay, 17 beads that we need altogether on a row after the first row. Because the first row is always like, you know, an even number. And the second row is, it fluctuates between even and odd. You know, it just depends. It just depends. But, okay. So now, so you see, so we've done all that. So now we're going back to the J. So of course the J is going to be red. Okay. And just like right here, it's the E. So of course it's going to be red. Okay. So you kind of like, yeah, you should follow the pattern because especially if you've never made candy before, Kandicuff, you need to be following the pattern so you don't mess it up. But if you're a professional like myself, and even though I'm professional, we still make mistakes, okay? Because we ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. Only one person's perfect, and that's Jesus, and we're not him. So, you know, we do need a little help along the way. That's just the way it works. So, red, for sure. So, get out 2 red beads. Alright, and then like I said before, so you can tell where the end is, right? So you see how that leans? So that's going to be a black bead, but you see how that leans? Like how you got it like that? Which means you put a black bead there and then you string your string through that black bead and through that red bead, okay? And then when you do that, make sure you're pulling it tight. So it doesn't, so it, you know, because you want to pull it tight, but you don't want to pull it too tight to where you break the string or you can't get the cuff on later, you know. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Alright. So, that's what it looks like. So, let's see. Alright. So you can tell that that's an S, and that's a U, and an S, and there's your hearts. Yeah. Alright. Okay. So, you're on 11, okay? So, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And like I said, thank y'all for watching. And, you know, this is a test run to see how well this does. Sorry, the pod is like janky. It's what happens when you order stuff from Shein. I mean, you might get winners and you might not. I mean, it's doing really good right now, but I don't know how to work the bottom part to tighten it up. So it's like, I mean, you should see the way it is. Like, it's janky. And I got it rigged on top of my book, which I've been praying this whole time that it doesn't fall over again. So that I can be hands-free, kind of, to be able to make my cuff, because I really want to go to 5 Below later this week and see about getting one of those hands-free camera things that I got. Oh, see where I messed up? See where I messed up? I skipped a bead right there. You see where I put the line? Yeah, that's why you gotta be paying attention. See, I was too busy talking, and I messed up. But see, that was an easy fix. Man, I've done that before where I didn't even notice, and I messed up, like, and I've gotten way higher in my cuff, and then been like, oh crap. And I've had to take down like 4 and 5 rows before. Yeah, it sucks. Okay. But yeah, I really want to go and like get that piece to like, that's like a hands-free like neck holder, but you put your camera on, and so that it shows like everything that's in your lap or like right in front of you. I think that would help a lot, than having a pod sitting on a table trying to do it. Like I said, I'm not very technology savvy or anything. Like, I still don't even own a computer. I'm so freaking Ice Age, man. Like, I am. But at least I admit to it, you know? At least I'm not like, you know, some fake person out here that just, you know, makes up crap. What you see is what you get. You know? That's why I got all those haters. Anywho. Alright. So now we're right here. So we go red, yellow, red. So 2 reds, and a yellow. Alright, and then, okay, so 1 black, then add a bead, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think just 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 6 blacks. That's what you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll be on number 12. Ooh. Alright, and also, you might find some beads. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But, so it's got this piece of plastic on it that's like sticking out, so it'll like hurt you if you leave it like that. So what I do is I take my fingernail and I'll just like scrape it off so that it makes my beads smooth, because you don't want any beads that are like gonna cut your freaking hands open, you know what I'm saying, or your arm, or like, you know, they won't cut them open, but they won't feel too good after a while. So you want to make sure that your beads are smooth on all sides. You just take your fingernail and, like, you know, scrape the extra plastic off. This, like, you know, gonna aggravate you. Alright. And just pull it through. I usually do, like, you know, 3 or 4 beads in a row before I pull the string all the way through. That's just me personally. Sometimes I do, you know, less than that. Just depends. And also, I should have showed you from the beginning. Oh, wait. Crap. You see that? Do you see that? I did it again. See? Do you see that? I'm missing So I can't put my bead there. Shit. You see that? I did it. I did it right there. See? God dang it. Alright, so now I'm going to have to take all these off because I don't even know what number that is. Man. Alright, I think that's only number 10. I think that's number 10. Crap, dude. Boo. Alright, so now, it's an easy fix, but it's a pain in the ass. Alright. See? That's what happens when I'm chit-chatting and I'm not paying attention. Alright, so what you do is if you mess up, you just pull them off. So you just like literally take it and you just grab 2 beads and you just pull it off like that. And it's a pain in the ass depending on how long your daggum string is. But you gotta do it in order to fix it. Because you can't leave it like that because then it won't look right. And you won't be able to continue making it until you fix up your boo-boo. See? And I was just talking about that and I did it twice. I did it 2 times in a row. Alright, so what I do is I put the beads higher up on the bed. Or wherever so that you, otherwise it's just gonna get in the way. Alright, see? I just said I ain't perfect, didn't I? Even professionals make mistakes. Alright, so there's this. Alright, and then it was when I wanted to go, yeah. Okay, so go back to your pattern. So there's a 7, okay, and then on top of that is the 9. So right here is supposed to be a 10. So I skipped the red bead. Okay. So I was supposed to put the red bead and then pull it through the other one. Okay. So to fix it, I'll put a red bead here and I'll pull it through the black one and pull it through the red one. Alright. Easy peasy fix. That's the easy peasy fix. Alright, and now I'll start on number 11. I don't know how I messed that up. But it's okay. Because then you just pull it through, you pull it tight, and then you can start on number 11. So you go to your S, go to 11, it's black. So like we just did a second ago. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blacks. Not 6 blacks. 7 blacks. Okay. Woo, girl. My foot from the way I'm sitting is like so numb. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. 7 blacks. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here or something because my leg is like really numb. It's really hurt my knee. And I don't have any TV or anything going on in the background, so all I hear is those freaking cicadas, and it's getting my last nerve. It's so loud. I even made a joke to my friend the other day, like on the phone. I was like, you know what? We should go outside and record the cicadas. And like, if I had a computer, I could like make some beats and like put it into like a mix. You know what I'm saying? And then take like other animal noises and put it in there. I'd put in like an elephant and then maybe a giraffe. Does a giraffe make noises? I don't know. But definitely an elephant. like when he's blowing his nose, it sounds like a trumpet. I would have that noise in the background, and then I would do like, I don't know, some other stuff, you know, put it with like, you know, other animal noises like frogs when they're like making their noises. Okay, so now we're at red, so we do one red, one yellow, one red to complete the heart and the cross. All right. Oops. Alright. I don't even know if I can stretch my leg out right now. Ow. Shit. Oh, oh, oh. Wait. Can't do it. No beads. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Girl. God dang. Oh. Ooh. The mercy that hurt. Ooh. Okay, hang on. I might have to do both of my legs because I'm hurting. Oh shit. Nothing is about to go off. Alright. Hang on. Alright. Put my glasses on. Just for a second. Like I said before. Woo, girl. Oh. I know, I'm a hot mess. Everything hurts. Okay. I'll see if I could do it in front of me. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Maybe if I do it like this. Maybe if I do it like this. Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't want to keep messing with it, you know? Okay. But I'm right here. So I am at the black. So I'm in number 11. So you go back to your pattern. Ugh. It's hard. Alright. And then there's a black. You add a bead. Go back over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you do 6 blacks. Okay? 2, 4, 6. Alright. Let's move this out of the way. And let's just move this out of the way for right now. Okay. Okay. Maybe. So, go here. 1. Put a bead on. 2. Put a bead on. 3. Oh, just go ahead and pull it through so it's not too tight later on. Alright, pull it kind of tight. Not too tight. You don't want it too tight, like I said. Because, alright. So now, we're right here. Okay. So, go here. Pull it through. Go here. Pull it through. And the last one. Put it on. There. That way I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the bead goes right there. You gotta pull it through the red. Or wait, no, there's another bead. Okay, my bad. Alright, so the black one right there. Let's go back to our pattern. So, I can even see it. What is that? I barely even see it on here. Yeah. Alright, so we're at number 11. Okay, so it's all black. Alright, that's cool. So you just take another bead. Just take another black. Got one right here. Push it through the red. And then you take another black. Put it on. And then you take that one. You also push it through the red, but you also pull it through that bead. So that's going to go right there. So you put it through that one. And then put the string through that one. And then pull it tight. Make sure that you got everything. Okay. Sometimes it comes out the side, but it's okay. You just string it through the top. And then you just literally pull it through like so. Make sure it's on there and it's not like flipped over or whatever. It's so crap. See? Told you. Ah, it's stinky. So now, sorry y'all, bear with me. Alright, so see? So now it really, you could really see what it says. Okay, you got almost the whole thing. So I think, yeah, you only need one more. So we're about to be on number 12, okay? So you only got one more up here to do for the yellow. Alright, but look, that looks so good. You can see what it says. Yay! Yeah. Alright. Sorry, Fiona's. Oh, wait. No, I thought that was a piece of hair, but it's not. It is. Daggum. Dang it. Sorry, I knew that if I touched anything, I wouldn't be able to get it back the way it's supposed to be. I told you, I'm having problems with this daggum thing. What did I say earlier? If it fell again, I was gonna stop the feed, so I should probably just stop the feed now because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it situated. It's making my connection be slow. So yeah, I don't know how to work these things. I told you I don't know how to work them. Alright. But anyway, so we are going to start back right here. So we are now on number 12. So go back to your pattern. Like I said, you start over here in the corner and then read it all the way up. Okay. So you go to here. So from the corner, you go all the way this way, all the way to there. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reds. Alright. And my friend I'm supposed to meet later just sent me a message, so I'm gonna have to get off here so I can hit him up. Because... Alright. And we gotta make sure that this is right. So, yeah. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and like I said, you just pull it through. And then go back. Alright, so you're on 12, okay, and then you go 1, 2, or wait, hang on, yeah, actually it's more than that. Alright, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 7, 8, 9, or wait, hang on, see, I'm about to mess it up again. Alright, so you just finished that, okay, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 blacks. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. 7 blacks. And yeah, I'm gonna get up here. I'll show you the pattern when I get done with it later. But it keeps going in and out, so I don't even know how well it's doing. And like I said, my friend just hit me up, so I want to hit him back. Because I'm supposed to meet up with him in a bit. But yeah, if I got that neck thing that just goes around your neck and you're wearing your camera like literally on your neck, it's basically a pod on your neck. It's like secure and it won't be like moving around. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about anything falling over. The camera angle would be correct. And like you wouldn't have to worry about it all being blurry or any of that stuff. Like, from other people that I've talked to that have used those things, they've all told me they worked really, really, really well. So, like I said, I got one for my ex's kid, but I don't think he ever used it. And I never took it back from him because I'm not an Indian giver. You know, I'm not. There were certain times where I kind of wish I would have been, you know, with certain people or things, but whatever. Alright, so now you did that, so you're gonna be, and actually, you see, so we left one out somewhere. Oh, we gotta go back. We gotta go back and make sure. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We were supposed to do 8 blacks. So now we gotta go back. Alright. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only did 7. We need 1 more black. See, this is what I'm saying. You gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention to your cuff, and you have to pay attention to your paper at all times. Because if you don't, you're gonna mess up. And hopefully it'll be an easy fix mess up, and it won't be like where you don't notice it to the very end. Alright, now you're at 12. So you do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do 1. Crap. Sorry. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 reds. Alright. So, let's get 4 reds. 1. And it is kind of like a puzzle once you get your cuff going and you can see, like, how it looks. Like, it pretty much is a puzzle at that point. Because you're just, like, filling in the gaps. You know what I'm saying? And it, like, I mean, like I said, when I first started making these, I had no idea what I was freaking doing. And I thought that that was how you were supposed to do it. I thought that it was basically you were just, like, making a puzzle to make it fit and whatever. So, but I didn't know, and that's what I was doing. And the first one I ever did was Finn. And it was, Finn in front of a bush with, like, the sky behind him. And it actually turned out really good. And I still have it. It's still intact. It hasn't, like, fallen apart or anything. But I didn't follow a pattern. Like, I just, like I said, I pieced it together. But yeah, so you can see it. You can see it pretty well that it says Jesus and the heart and the cross with the black behind it. And like I said, the black is for death. The red is for his blood. And the yellow is for his salvation. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to finish my cuff. I'm going to hit my friend back. And, I hope y'all have a great day. God bless y'all. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye! Be on the lookout for Courtdogg's Craft Corner, or Courtdogg's Candy Corner, or something like that in the near future. Possibly on Twitch, but I don't know. Because I don't know how that Twitch thing works. I don't know if you could do it through your phone, or if you have to have a computer. Like I said, I don't have a computer. Or I might do the thing on here and go Facebook Live making candy again. It's very therapeutic for sure, and I spent at least an hour doing it. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. God bless. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye!